See how much rigorous examination he let Ramakrishna Paramsa undergo. Examined many times, and he questioned him, have you seen God? And his confidence, Ramakrishna's answer in giving that confidence in giving that answer amazed him. Yes, I have seen as clearly and as much as I have seen you, as much you live before me in your flesh and blood, he said. That amazed him, much before this, Narendra met many people. Narendra Nath. He was not satisfied with the answers. Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, Professor. Narendranath Datta. Yes, yes.
No, sir. Okay, somebody. Um, that he was not satisfied with the answers they've given him. They were not able to say, yes, we experienced, but we could not say. But his authenticity, his faith, unshakable faith, Yes, I have seen you as much clearly as I have seen you. That made him wonder. He examined him, and then only accepted him. Here, I would like to tell you one thing. As the student or Vidyarthi seeks and searches for the best guru, and the teacher also searches. We all can, even though the teacher, I'm speaking about any teacher of ancient times and even present times also, in the recent times, the teacher also waits. The teacher waits very patiently, and perhaps he feels blessed in case he gets a genius student through him. He could perhaps pass on his knowledge to others and next generation. It's really, the teachers are really blessed in case they get such students, and of course they are there nowadays even also. And here I would like to tell you the greatness of teacher. I don't like to go the usual definitions, but all my speech perhaps inclusive of that definitions, I think. Hindi poet Kabir Das once said, I'm not quoting the Hindi words, if I'm encountered, confronted perhaps a teacher and God, I prostrate at the feet of teacher, but not next only to the God, next only to God, and explained his act of doing it, because if I will be at the feet of my teacher, it's to teacher the God comes to me, the God appears to me. It's quite possible for me to see God in case I'm able to be at the feet of God and being blessed His manner. That's why, in order to inculcate this sense of greatness and nobility of teacher, gods, those who've taken different incarnations on this earth as gods and as human beings also. They showed Rama. Rama, he has a wonderful teacher, Vasistha. They proved the teacher is a master. The teacher need not be an academician. He can be your father, mother, your siblings, your neighbors, what not everything, Dattatreya says, and I have many dogs, many gods, and many gods, and infinite gods. And there is a poem in our Telugu, Indugala Danduledani Sandehamulu Chakri Sarvopagatundu Endentu Betikan Andante Kanavachu Danavagra Nivinte. You need not doubt whether you can find God here or there, and shrines or somewhere else. Indugala Danduledani Sandehamalu. Don't be suspect of God's existence in this world, whether He's here or somewhere He's there, is not there. Chakri Sarvopagatundu Endendu Betikan Andante Kanavachu. If you have that passion, that sincerity and commitment, that inquisitive mind to search for God, and God is found everywhere. Perhaps I say that God has different different forms which man has given to him. Nowadays, many gods are there. These are nothing but his conceptions of God. So, if you have that desire, you can see that should be the spirit of it. And coming to in between after Ramakrishna, before Ramakrishna, we have Shankaracharya, Adiguru, and his disciple Vishwarupudu or Vishwarupa. See the lineage of the great teachers and the great students, and that should be the spirit of teaching and teachers and all that. Okay, one minute. When so you might ask me here. So can we find such ambience nowadays? Can we become? Are there such great teachers? Are there such enthusiastic and devoted students? And even though it is that concept is diluted mostly, still there are good teachers. I was taught by wonderful teachers. Perhaps you must also have been taught by wonderful teachers, and perhaps you, as a teacher, must have found certain of your students, some of your students who are very eager to learn the things. The percentage would be less, but such saga continues, and such saga continues. As far as man's thirst for knowledge is wet, undying. There will be speakers of knowledge. There will be that transmits the knowledge would be there. Now, knowledge can be perhaps I'd like to 1 minute. Knowledge can be of some aspects. Knowledge can be descriptive about facts. It should be procedural skills. I told you already. Objects, acquaintance, and these are all a part of knowledge. Perhaps the way your mother, the way perhaps your grandma, grandpa did certain things, and while in the kitchen, or your father, perhaps grandfather, in the in a farm, being by plowing the field, something. It's a skill, It's also knowledge. So knowledge can be acquired through different forms, and many sources are there. One has to be very cautious about them. One has to be aware of it. That's why I said in the beginning, knowledge can be defined as knowing where it is available. First thing, you should we should have an idea. You should be aware of it. What is knowledge? The concept of knowledge, and where it is available, how it is available, the sources of them. And as your might, your energy, your living conditions allow you, you grasp, perhaps absorb that particular area. Knowledge generally refers to theoretical and practical. Please. Knowledge refers to theoretical and practical. What you learn from books is only theoretical. For example, I want to be a swimmer, and perhaps I get the best books written by wonderful swimmers, those who won gold medals and all that in the Olympics. I've gone through all the books and understood well the techniques they have studied in. By reading so I have spent almost half of my life in. And after the half of my life, I went to a river and tried to swim. I could not. I cannot perhaps swim. That means I have whatever knowledge I have is just only theoretical knowledge. I have no practical side of it. Suppose instead of going through all the books and certain things require practical knowledge rather than the theoretical ones. Instead of wasting my time in such a way, suppose with the help of my friend who is a very good swimmer who regularly goes to river and does swimming, perhaps he could teach me the art of swimming in a few hours. If you have the genius, you could learn it in a short span of time. In one stroke also you can. There's a kind of knowledge. So theoretical knowledge is necessary, to certain things, but all things cannot be experienced, and perhaps our lives do not allow us to reach certain things. Suppose suppose you want to feel how Narendra felt at the time of his the Hastamastaka Bhushanam. In Telugu we call it Hastamastaka Bhushanam. It's a Sanskrit story. When the teacher keeps his hand on the head of a disciple, a kind of energy, a kind of aura is found perhaps around that particular Shishya, and of course, particularly around the teacher also. It transmits. How many of us have found such a experience, such an experience? It should be self-experienced. So certain things require a practical approach, certain things theoretical. That's why we say it is implicit and explicit also. Practical expertise, theoretical knowledge, explicit outside. Suppose you want to make a curry. I mentioned curry because I've learned a bit of, I know a bit of cooking also. After my mother's demise, I was not married then. I was with my father. And during the first day, my father was not in the habit of taking his food or something outside in the hotels and asked me to cook. I was shocked because I was not aware of what cooking was by then. Slowly I remembered and recollect my observation when my mother cooked. Yes, I read it. Even the first day onwards, the first dish I made that day was beautifully cooked. It was, of course, tasty. You have to believe that's all. If I say that it's just because you were not there, and whatever I say, you have to believe it. Okay, certain things. And later on, my father was a wonderful, my father very suggestive. He doesn't ask me directly what he needs and what's the requirement. He simply says, well, it's nice, much time has gone by since I tasted this and that. You would tell certain names of dishes then. That this is what we call infernal, we infer from them. Suggestive, what he is suggesting, he wants me to learn perhaps it. I learned. Now I can cook very comfortably. I can make the things very tasty also. Okay. Now it's the practical side. Certain things need practical side. So there, where practical side is required, practical skill is needed, they don't waste our time. Let us not waste our time in reading theoretical by going theories perhaps. It's not true. But both should go on, implicit and explicit. And one more thing. Knowledge can be formal and informal and very systematic also. It can be formal way, very strict under the discipline of system of a particular teacher, something like that, formal. In an informal, while you were talking with your friends, be it the on the bazaars, while walking along with your friends, by putting your hands over the shoulder of your friend, even in the banal talks and ordinary talks, casual talks, and make you sometimes very knowledgeable. Just informal, quite informal. It could be, strictly speaking, systematic. If you whatever you learned informally, and the difference perhaps between informal knowledge and systematic learning, perhaps you could best be reminded of Srinivasa Ramanujam and Hardy. I don't like to explain that. Perhaps you could know very well. That's it. Whatever Srinivasa Ramanujam learned in a casual way. He doesn't know the technical terms of it. But Hardy is a trained teacher, is a scholar, is a mathematician. Had it not been the prop of Hardy, Ramanujan's genius would not have been known to the world. So that's the practical side. That's the informal. It can be informal, formal, and systematic, and particular also. Sometimes you want to specialize, particularize. This is what happens in the case of PhDs. You want to specialize certain area, certain point, and perhaps you gain knowledge in that particular. You focus your attention on them, on that particular poet, or particular genre, and then try to get the knowledge. Okay, this is how we learn from our sensations also, from our sensations, from our beliefs, from our mental states also. Each mental state, your moods, the sensation you get it, a kind of sensation. For example, I would like to say that place yourself, imagine yourself on the green grass that is wet with the falling of the snow, and you are standing on that particular grass with barefoot. What kind of feeling? What kind of feeling you get it? A kind of thrill, an experience, a sensation that you get it. Perhaps the kind of sensation that that starts from your feet, that goes up to goes through your legs and reaches your perhaps your senses. It's wonderful. It is also a kind of knowledge. Now, knowledge can be scientific also. To to develop the development of the scientific method has a significant contribution to knowledge. So whatever knowledge you have acquired or gained through the informal way, should be systematized. Systematized should be given a particular concrete shape to it. That's why one of the reasons we have many humanities, many languages, literature, and everything. So, giving a scientific shape to the knowledge is essential because unless you make it scientific, it will not be understood by all. For example, a scientist did conducted many experiments in the laboratory, and he just observed certain things. He would not make them scientific. What happens? His knowledge is just confined to that particular laboratory. He should observe the things. To term a fact or facts of information or knowledge, which is knowledge, and which you want to term it as scientific. What is required? An inquiring mind, an insightful nature, an investigation perhaps. It is your investigative mind, inquiring mind, a passionate mind perhaps tries to give a shape of it. This is what the scientists do. Most of the scientists don't know. They do experiments. They observe it carefully. They try to get they understand that they check the findings, and at last they come to a conclusion. And much later, they try to formulate their observations into theories. That's how knowledge becomes. So induction method is there. That's very very important for all of us. Um, Situational knowledge would be there. I'm speaking about knowledge. I want to give the gravity of what knowledge is, and and how many shapes you can find it in. Into how many shapes, how many objects it can be shaped into, or it is available perhaps. Situational knowledge, you're not aware that perhaps you don't know that you have to speak in such a way, and at least you do not have you have a vague idea that your behavior should be in that particular area in such and such way. Once you get into that particular context, a situation, the situation makes you knowledgeable. By the way the people speak around you, by the way you respond, your response, your reaction, perhaps how you talk and how you behave is decided by the context. It is a situational knowledge. It's a life skill, we can call it. And let me coming to the end, because my time I have seen. I'm looking at the clock also, and our knowledge is partial. Make it a point. Our knowledge is partial. Generally, what we do, we cannot master, as I told you, life pile after life, and lives pile after one after the other. Is not enough, perhaps, to gain knowledge. That's why you have to be very wise and discreet, deciding what type of knowledge is required for you. The area you want to focus upon should be mastered. Even that partial knowledge you have acquired perhaps would be doubtful sometimes. But whatever bit of knowledge you have acquired, however trivial it is, you must have a command of it. You must have a define. You must be able to define exactly. You must have a clear cut idea about that particular that area. There are religious concepts of knowledge also. Christianity says knowledge is one of the seven gifts of the Holy Spirit. Holy Spirit is nothing but none other than God Himself. And perhaps every religion agrees with that. It helps us grasp the knowledge through our observation of the creation around us. For Islam, for Islam, for Islam, Islam says that knowledge comes from God. The knowing of, I don't know how to pronounce, Alim is one of the 99 concepts of God. The seeker of knowledge, Muhammad Prophet says, seek the knowledge from cradle to grave. And coming to Hindu scriptures, that what I've quoted is enough. For example, is a best definition of what the relationship between the teacher and the taught. Now, let me sum up in 1 or 2 minutes. We have many definitions of God, many definitions of teacher and the student. Both should be passionate. I would like to compare. I would like to compare the teacher to a seed. Seed. Seed contains life in it, perhaps in the dormant state. And Shishya or Vidyarthi, a student perhaps for that sake, can be compared to kshetra. If that seed is able to get into the wonderful, the fertile, perhaps fertile, should I say, no, fertile land. That is the student. It grows richly. The bits of knowledge the Shishya has received from his teacher uh, takes the form of tricks, transforming into branches, tender they are, and a while comes, perhaps it becomes a big vriksha, a colossal vriksha it becomes. Can all the students be so? No, only I'm speaking about the students who are on the higher plane, whose genius almost is a match with the teacher. And what does a real student do? The real student who is endowed with a genius mind receives knowledge from the teacher, the facts of knowledge, because he is a genius, because he has inquisitive mind endowed with, he inquires into it. He checks whether they are right or not. To the acquired knowledge from the teacher, he adds his own, thereby enhancing the knowledge, making the knowledge river a perennial one. A perennial one. So it's from teacher, the student gets knowledge, he adds his own, and making the dimensions of the knowledge greater and wider and deeper, perhaps. He becomes again a guru. He becomes again a guru and ready to seek, ready to transmit all this knowledge to the student. You will be on the lookout of a right student again. It's like with this last example, I would like to sum up. It's like the twining the hay of grass, hay, dried grass, Some blades of grass we take, hay grass we take, and we go on entwining it in knowledge from teacher to the student, and from the student, when the student becomes a guru, and again that guru seeks a shishya. It's like entwining the hay into a tough and rough rope. That's how knowledge should be transmitted. Now, let me conclude with one sentence. Knowledge is definitely a unifying factor of the teacher and the taught, because both should have equal passion for knowledge. That's why the sloka says, let's learn together. The same concept, was to be found in Plato also. In those days, teachers were very genius, and they were knowledgeable in most of the subjects. And subjects, there was no scientific division of those subjects, and he was surrounded by the students asking questions. And much before the class begins, the teacher would say, "Oh, students, please come and go on asking the questions that comes to your mind." And we try to say, if we know. If we do not know, let's learn together. The question can be from encompasses almost all branches. The teacher should find his student should I say, enhancer of the knowledge. It is through certain gifted students and genius students only the real metal of this teacher comes out. Well, that's all I can say about knowledge. It's a wonderful, undoubtedly, a unifying factor that unifies a teacher, the seeker of the knowledge, the transmitter of the knowledge. Again, vice versa. At last, I say that when such an ambience is taken place, knowledge radiates between the teacher and the taught. Thank you very much for being a patient listeners to what
Thank you.
a little
Thank you,
bit of
bro.
knowledge I have.
Really great presentation, sir. Great presentation. Never heard before. And hopefully would never be able to hear also.
Oh no 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 no.
Great presentation, sir. Actually, what you said is perfect, sir, because knowledge, when multiplied with skills, that comes out to be an organizational performance.
Yes,
Any
sir.
organizations which are there now occupying the ranks of the Fortune 500, they have perfect knowledge and skills, and that's the reason why they are in the Fortune 500. And if you look at the Christianity proverbs, they speak more about the knowledge and wisdom only.
Yes,
But
sir.
if you look at the Hindu Bhagavad Gita, which has got the first teacher of the whole world, Lord Krishna, he has said very simple thing. If the roots are strong, the fruits would be strong. That means if we can have the best teacher, then obviously the students will be best one. That is what was the saying by Krishna in Bhagavad Gita.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. And you have
Kiran
clearly
sir, sorry for
stated
interrupting.
everything. No problem, sir. Most welcome.
Yes, yes, Sir has also, given us so many examples, Dronacharya and Arjuna.
Yes, yes, perfect. That is focus. That is the concept of focus. It's a management concept, sir.
So, sir, I have taken 10 pages of reference from your speech.
Great, great, great.
So
10 pages.
I am blessed.
Drona,
I am blessed.
Arjuna, conceptual thing, and then given you have to give an importance to all conceptual thing, harmonious blendedness, is required for spiritual experience, and then I have written everything.
Oh, thank you.
I need
It's
to
a
go through
pleasure.
this, sir.
I'm
I don't have
honored.
any
I'm
word to
honored.
say. Describe about your task. You are a real guru at
No,
this
no, no.
platform.
That is what I too said, sir, in the
Anything
beginning.
from you, sir. I have taken 10 pages of note. I should go through this entire thing. I no need to repeat this.
So I accept I'm a guru in the sense that I want to learn from you also, from my students also, in such a way.
Great words, sir.
No, the session was like never before and never after also.
No, 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 sir, no, sir,
Yeah,
no.
please, others can give their opinion, Karan sir. Okay, sir, you can continue, please.
Thank
Others
you.
can,
Good evening, gentlemen. Just I want to say,
Tirumala ma'am.
like Kiran sir is saying, never before, never after, na bhuto, na bhavishyat.
No, no, ma'am, no.
Yes, yes, that's the translation one. Absolutely correct, madam.
Yes, 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 sir. Yes, you are right. Really, truly, that is really amazing, inspiring. And
Because
what
knowingly or
I could.
unknowingly, sir has put the complete Bhagavad Gita into his session. It was everything
Yes,
from
and
Bhagavad
he
Gita
made a
only.
balance.
Many people.
I really appreciate the way that the sir has made a balance. In getting out the scripts of different religions. Though he mentioned that he didn't read other religious scriptures, still. I really appreciated that the way you made a balance, that really addressed the whole audience, because this Welta Forum is one and everyone from all parts of the world and from all religions. So it was really inspiring and made us again, think about our relations with our teachers, with our students, and how to, go about this journey. Really fantastic, sir. Thank you so much for, we are blessed actually. We are blessed to
Madam,
be
I really
audience
support you,
today.
madam. All religions are translations of each other. That's it. There's nothing
Yes.
unique. There's nothing different.
Yes, yeah. There is
They're
one
just
God and
translations
we
of
are
each
all,
other. That's it.
one world, one humanity. Yeah, this
Perfect,
is
perfect.
also my
sir.
belief. Yes.
Perfect,
Religion is
madam.
nothing but
Earth is round for any
universal,
religious person.
yes, yes.
To correlate Kiran sir's thoughts and then those that of Tirumala ma'am, I would like to say one thing and one. All religions are good, sir.
Please.
But it is the people that misinterpret, misunderstand.
Yes, yes.
That's my feeling.
That is the misinterpretation only, sir. I agree with you 100%.
Right.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, everybody. Sir,
Good evening, ma'am.
my sincere and heartfelt gratitude and kudos to you for your wonderful, thought-provoking presentation, which was so cool and systematic, and the way you connected us really, really took us to once again think from the bottom of our heart as what is that we are with our students and to what extent we are reaching. Really, sir, as Tirumala madam was telling, as Kiran sir was telling, it's really time for the teachers to look, to think, and rethink on the role that they are performing and how it has to be groomed day in and day out to reach our students. And as you have been rightly telling, the aura, the connect, the bonding that is created when we really do justice with our role as teachers. Really, sir, really, really wonderful session, I can say. Thanks a lot. And echoed came to my mind, which we displayed when we were attending the superannuation function of our professor. A day spent in the company of a teacher is worth studying. A day spent with a diligent teacher is worth studying lots of books. Is what came to my mind. Thanks a lot, sir.
Thank you.
Good evening, Bodapatti sir.
Oh, not the name.
I was in the queue and the system was telling, wait, you are in the queue, because there was a lot of dhakka-mukki today. Everyone was so overwhelmed with this session that each one wanted to connect to you. So it was a wonderful session, so very well organized, so relevant. The flow was such that each one of us was feeling like in sync with what you were sharing. And we could put ourselves at both the places, at the place of the teacher as well as the student. So we could actually understand everything very well from both the perspectives.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
And the allusions, references, quotes that you had included were so rich. It was a real treasure that you unfolded on the forum, because we do know them, randomly we know them, but you put them all at one place.
Oh, thank you.
So it was like a compilation of a theme. So perfect, like something that one would like to listen to in just one single pack. So, it was really wonderfully put, and using words for you is like doing injustice to you.
Oh.
So
I feel your words and kudos and all that make me more humble and to be more modest, because the one who knows, who acquired certain knowledge, is like the one who is in the river has gone to certain depth. The one who has gone to certain depth of knowledge only knows how much depth still is to be explored. He has to go on. And compared to his compared to the depth he has gone to, and the depth to be explored, that makes him humble and modest. I'm just a part of all my teachers. That's what somebody says. I'm part of those whom I have met. It just I'm being blessed by my wonderful teachers. And
yes, it takes me to a thought.
This is in fact again a dialogue from Bhagavad Gita only,
yes,
sir. You said something like.
Kiran, sir.
Yeah, sure.
Just a minute, please. It takes me to a thought that the more you know, the more you know how little you know.
Yes.
So the more you know, the more you know that how little you know. So that is where, yes, this is where we land up. But sir, keep on you're putting such things from the old literature to the new one, from the old value system to the new one, because there was a lot of values added in your deliberation today. Because Guru Shishya is a parampara.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
parampara is something very, very rich, if we understand. It is not a code of conduct, it is parampara. So thank you very much, sir, for introducing the Guru Shishya Parampara on Velta Forum, which no one had did earlier. And like Kiran sir said, and Tirumala ma'am had translated it very well, that there has
Madam, parampara means tradition, madam. What you said, parampara, that's a tradition. But that tradition is still continuing only in India, not in any other parts of the world, madam.
Yes.
Because we only understand the meaning of the tradition. Others don't have the traditions. No, every time there's a volatile kind of a tradition for every other part of the world.
They have a use and throw concept.
Yes, absolutely correct, madam. Absolutely correct.
So thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. I am honored, madam.
Waiting for some more treasure to be unfolded. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so
To
much,
add Malati ma'am.
Professor Bottapati.
Oh, thank you, sir. Oh,
My respects to Professor Bottapati's wonderful presentation. So very nice. In spite of your little bit of combat, you really relished a lot and enlightened us. Thank you so much, sir.
Shall we proceed to the next speaker, ma'am? We are encroaching on. Somebody has to take the lead, you know.
Really hard. First of all, to Bodapati, Chandrasekhar sir, and again the discussions prove that you have done a really an excellent presentation, and really no, it's amazing, and the words are limited to express our gratitude. Thank you so much. We are looking forward to have such insightful presentation in the days to come as well. Thanks a lot, sir. It is like something like by providence we have got this session. That's what I should say. Yesterday I was inquiring people, whoever is interested, come on, you please ping me. The morning itself, no, in the morning we got this night itself. Professor called me and told me that I am he is ready, and so immediately agreed. And again, not only he came forward, but he also made the other Chandrasekhar sir, head of the department, Eluru, and again it's a combo. These duos, amazing, really wonderful combination. And again, big salute to you, sir. And now it is time to hand over the session to our Professor Chandrasekhar sir from Eluru, who was graciously consented to do the second presentation for this faculty development program. It's an honor to welcome you, sir. And again, we feel very much happy, and again we remain grateful to Professor Chandrasekhar sir for the leads he has given, especially. And the credit goes to Karnanidhi sir. And from Karnanidhi sir, we got Chandrasekhar sir. Like it's a chain reaction, and again chain of incident. We feel very much humbled and honored, and again very much blessed by these sessions. And again, over to you, sir, without taking much of the time.
Saravanan, sir, one second. I would like to take, sir. There are two similarities and one difference between Chandrasekhar square. And the similarity, I say, Chandrasekhar similarity and grey hair similarity. And difference is that he has dyed his white mustache into black, and mine is not. That's all.
Oh, right.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Great. Thank you, sir. And
please continue.
With the 2.5 decades of experience, no, sir is going to deliver the talk. And hearty welcome to you, sir, once again. Over to you, sir.
Okay, Dr. Saravanan, thank you so much for this opportunity of saying certain thoughts with all the enlightened and esteemed ones who are fully knowledge. It is just for sharing. We are meeting on this platform, exchange of information, knowledge, enlightened views, concepts, and all that. With this view of on my presentation, I would like to proceed and discuss as and when needed. The first quotation I begin with is fools are wise men discuss. So with this, we will proceed. Today, my topics, the limits of my life are the limits of my world. This quotation is actually from Professor Ludwig Wittgenstein, a great genius in the field of philosophy of language. He is basically an aeronautical engineer from Königsberg University in Germany. Before 1914, before the outbreak of war in 1914, he came to Cambridge University from Germany. He studied aeronautical engineering, and after that, he met a great logician, Frege, to know the final reality of the universe. And Frege said he was very old. He was 90 by then. Before Ludwig Wittgenstein go to Cambridge and meet Bertrand Russell. He was Bertrand Russell was by then a great luminary in the field of science, mathematics, and language and sciences. So he humbly went to Cambridge to meet Bertrand Russell, and meeting him, he studied logic, math, philosophy of language. After that, immediately called Germany to participate in the First World War. This story is very interesting because he participated in the First World War in the civil supplies department, and being in the civil supplies department on the war front, he is so powerful, his thoughts are so passionately concerned with the reality of the universal. He was jotting words that come to his mind from time to time in German language. So throughout the war, till 1918, he was jotting down and all that. After the war was over, he came back to Cambridge and met his professor, Bertrand Russell. And he showed it to him that he composed all these lines as and when thoughts came to his mind. Then Bertrand Russell was humbled by the greatness of this young man, his student. But then he got it translated into English. So on left side German, right side English. It was published in 1921 as Tractatus Logicus, a treatise on philosophical logic, and it became an international classic. So with that one book, because it was a passionate concern with the reality of the world, social reality, political reality, history, war, the universe as such, because the volume of his concern gave enormous strength and applause from the intellectual community of the world. And this quotation, the limits of my language or the limits of my world, is from that book. It is in every class I used to remind students of this, because just we will go into a little bit of maths and science. The limits of my language are the limits of my world. If we keep these in place of R equal to the limits of my and the limit on the other side, both get cancelled. If is equal to is put in the place of R, then the same things on both sides of the equation can be cancelled. We all know. So the limits of my on both sides cancelled. What remains? Language is equal to world. If further simplified, L is equal to W. That means language is equal to word. So that means the implied thing is that language represents reality in the world. Not very often one-to-one correspondence, but one-to correspondence sometimes. So language is equal to word. That means I would like to engage students saying like this. In mathematics, if we add or subtract, multiply or divide on both sides, it will make any difference. The value does not get changed. So that means if you empower yourself, empower your language by learning, mastering vocabulary, grammar, or clause analysis and writings, paragraph, essay writing. Likewise, epitomization, like that. So you become empowered. You will be able to communicate each and every one of your ideas perfectly without any communication gap from the speaker and the audience. So that way, we have to encourage students at any level, certain, of course, because certain complications, either maybe they may be students from background or BA arts background or science background or biology background. These simple things, if you apply like this, they can understand. How we take it further? The limits of my language are the word. Language is equal to word. How to do it? Encourage the students like this. We have to make them know the value of knowledge as such. Because knowledge brings you bread and butter. Without knowledge, you don't get any employment in whatever form it is, where it gives rise to interest. If both values are joined together, concentration, tapas, interest and dedication, all those things come. So all these things put together give rise to power of listening, perfect listening. So from that, what follows, if one student or any person at any level listens perfectly, then he will develop the interest to develop his reading skill, the ability to read faster, to read deeper and wider, etc. His power of reading increases. Power of reading increases, this means this further gives rise to power of speaking, because good readers, good listeners become good speakers. And we all know become good writers as well. So student or anybody performs well, not only in speaking but also writing, he gets what he wants. That is perfect performance, actual delivery, zero defect management or total quality management. That leads to success in his life, which brings him wealth, good manners, good samskara, and all these things add up to happy life. Happiness quotient is achieved. Not only like emotional balance, but attitude. Happiness quotient is achieved. The basic thing that I would like to tell, and the empowerment, not only as far as skills are concerned, but also speaking skills are concerned, reading skills and writing skills. A voracious reader can become a great writer because he can comprehend by wide reading all the ideas, concepts, the presentation skills, proper usage of words, phrases, clauses, etc., and automatically becomes great motivational writer like Robin Sharma and other great Ramsa Yogananda, Swami Vivekananda, and great writers, speakers. And not only that, student can empower himself by mastering grammar as well. If you know that language is equal to the word, L is equal to. So grammar, the syntax, semantics, the meanings and all those things to get his job properly in the right time, settle down well. And thereafter his communication level definitely improves different areas. And he understands his own culture, tradition, or if he enters politics, will become a great success. With the power of language, he can he can command the gift of the gap, or in parliamentary debates, or on the business fora, he becomes perfectly all right. So the limits of language comes the limits of successful life in the world. That's the implied meaning. Next, another point is perfect writing. Anything to be perfectly, Upanishadic quotation is here. Yadeva karoti vidyaya sraddhaya upanishada bhavati viryaram. Whatever action is done with full knowledge, with total commitment and interest, the deeper meanings and implications, that alone becomes supremely efficient. That action becomes supremely efficient. A beautiful, I think, from Taittiriya Upanishad, I think, it wrong. So, the limits of language, this leads to that kind of perfect performance, quality management in the world. So, this is the power of language. So, when we listen to great speakers, great works of poetry or prose or dramas or tragedies or poems or novels, how empowered we are, how enlightened we become. Professor Chandrasekhar Sir Bodapati just now mentioned that about the Purusha and so many things, very beautifully he said. Likewise, one quotation regarding Guru Sishya Parampara is, a Guru is awakened God, trying to awaken the sleeping God in the disciple. So, that is the relation between God, Guru, and the Sishya, the student. Because the energies in the student sleeping, in a sleeping condition. They are dormant, but they are awakened. The Guru, the teacher, the enlightened master. Then such a master is capable to deliver, transmit that knowledge, that enlightenment, that is life in the world to his beloved students. That is why Tulsidasa, in his Ramacharita in the Dhyana Sloka, he says, which summarizes the purpose of my talk. Vanam Sanghanam Rasanam Chandasamapi Mangam Chakartarau Vande Vani Vinayakau. Tulsidasa says, I bow both Goddess Saraswati and Lord Vinayaka for showing me knowledge of Kamala, the alphabet, how to combine the alphabet letters to form meaningful phrases and clauses. Thereby, I can understand the navarasas of life with perfect syntax and semantics. Chandasamati. Thereby, I can achieve what all good and noble things can be achieved in. I will achieve. That is why I bow down to God Swati, Vani, and Lord Vinayaka for doing all these things to me like praise, varnanam, asanganam, rasanam, chandasamapi, mangalanam cha kartaro, vande Vinayakau. This is the beauty of language. One master language, the vocabulary, the word power, how to use groups of word, meaningful phrases and clauses at the appropriate place, at the appropriate time, and navasas, along with the syntax and semantics, all the good and noble things of life can be achieved without any hopelessness or despair at any. That is one thing. This painful language also empowers us with good manners, right living, right ideas, right concepts, right attitude, right emotions, right feelings. All these things add up to a complete life, a complete student, a complete man, and happy life. Nothing is lost. Everything is full. Purnamada, Purnamidam, Purnamudashyate. Like that life is complete life, full life, without any shortcomings. Like that. So these are the few things. And next, I will move on to another. Today being Valentine's Day, we have to pay rich tributes to the great mothers, their sacrifices. Because, and in general, a woman who tells man what love is all about. Otherwise, never. Even God to be understood, heart, mother's depth of love has to be understood. Vivekananda once mentioned, without understanding our own mother, you cannot understand all others, much less God in this world. That's why there's a mess in this world. Lack of understanding everywhere, conflict, strife, everywhere selfishness, arrogance, all those things abound in the present day. Even in this age, science and technology took man to greater heights of achievement. I will recite a few lines from a poem which I wrote in 2003 or so in the Lead India movement, for which this is part of a 40-line English poem. Fortunately, I could recollect immediately just before this class session started, and which won a district level prize, all India competition also. If I can teach all my students with the love of all their mothers, with the love of all the mothers that lived in the past, with the love of all the mothers that are going to be, that are living at this moment, with the love of all the mothers that are going to be born in the future, I shall not have then lived in vain while here. My role as a teacher, as a lecturer, as a professor will not have been in vain if I can teach my students the love of all the great mothers in the world. So, those of great men all remind us that following them, we too can leave footprints on the sands of sang H.W. Longfellow long ago. So, how to inspire the young students, the lives of great people, at the same time command of language, the power of attitude, the power of communication, perfection, with perfect consent, attentiveness, developing all abilities in all our students, thereby our profession as a teacher, as a professor will be fulfilled. Then and still thousands of students will be it, whereby the minds of students, the minds and hearts of the students will be molded in such a way that the democratic principles in our constitution will become habits of mind and patterns of behavior. That's the goal that I have set for myself, and mostly all teachers likewise do in their own way. There's no doubt about it. Finally, I would like to quote a few things here in connection with the title, The Limits of My Language, The Limits of My World. That means how to improve ourselves, how to empower ourselves through mastery over language, mastery over words. Because the person said, words are like bullets fired from the soul force. Soul force from the force emanate like bullets. They are so powerful. If there is a dedication in the bottom of the heart, those words become powerful. Powerful blessings. Of course, no teacher blames any of his students or curses any of his students. Only showers the boons, never bane. In that connection, self-development, self-empowerment, and development, I would like to say, quote a few lines from a few geniuses. First one is from All the Success. He says, there is one corner of the universe you can be certain of improving, and that is your own self. That means we can be certain of improving ourselves. We don't know whether we can improve others or not, enlighten others or not, because that is not in our hands, not our choice. Self-improve is our choice. Improving others, their own choice. So, can we, in the class, if we empower ourselves, master our own subject, master our language and communication skills and abilities, just take us as role models. That is the best that we can do. Another question I would like to add. This is from William James, a great psychologist. Man who has daily inured himself to habits of concentrated attention, energetic volition, and self-denial will stand like a tower when everything rocks around him, and when his soft mortals are winnowed to chaff his past. So we have to give inner strength, psychological strength, emotional strength, spiritual strength, moral strength, our student community as their friends, philosophers, guides in everyday path. I would like to quote finally Claire Booth Luce in the final analysis of things, men and matters. He says, in the final analysis, there is no other solution to man progress but this hard work, the day's honest activities, the day's generous utterance, and the day's good deed. So, morning to you, what we are doing, how we are doing, how we are delivering essence, with what kind of attitude, what kind of dedication, from what kind of source of illumination, enlightenment, joy of doing things, with what attention we're doing, that ultimately matters a lot. Now, few observations, I leave the forum open for sharing ideas, exchange of information. giving your own opinions for my own improve for greater efficient delivery in later sessions. Thank you. Please,
Chandrasekhar ji, good evening, and you have done a brilliant job. In fact, I can say that we have beautifully presented. Words are like astras, Astras, once they are used, they cannot be taken back.
Yes.
And they're more powerful. These words are more powerful than astras, Once they leave off your portals of your lips, they do the harm. They do all the harm they can do, and they bring the all possible danger they can bring. That's why one has to be very carefully weigh the words and their gravity and the consequences, perhaps repercussions that those words might bring, and then only. Actually, to speak is very difficult. All things that because we are voracious reader, because we know many words, we can speak whatever we like. But art of speaking is very difficult. It's an art. Our Ramayana says, if it is the art of talking is to be, speaking is to be learned, it's from Anjaneya. It's from Vishwamitra. I'm sorry, Vibhishana. Such things, Guruleva be honorinchina priyamagu. That should be the spirit, Before you choose a word and want to use it in the context, you should be in a fraction of a second, very quickly you should be able to decide it's a choice, right choice, and the right context. Then only we can use it. Really a wonderful session, sir. My hearty congratulations to you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
May I say, sir?
Sir?
Thank you so much, sir.
Great, sir. Malati madam,
Good
please,
evening,
please,
sir.
please, 1 second. 1 second, Malati madam. I need to complete.
Okay. Today there is a lot of dakkamuki.
Dakkamuki means I can't understand, madam. Please clarify.
Dhakka means tug of war, sir. Tug of war.
No. It's a harmonious platform. This is, ma'am.
No, because all of us are so exhilarated.
Oh,
yes.
Agree.
Yes, sir,
You're all having the same mindset, same wavelength. Okay. Right. What professor has said, improving others is not our business. Improving, nourishing our own, improving our own personal, our own self is a prime job of ours. Great, professor. Thank you, sir. Chandrasekhar, sir. Excellent.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
I have taken 4 pages only from your speech. I'll go through, sir. I'll go through the entire note.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for your.
Atma Namaskaram for your, sir, the Upanishad sloga. Yes, a wonderful one, sir. Wonderful one. Thank you, professor.
Thank you.
Great, isn't sir? What you said is absolutely correct, sir. Really great. Thank you, sir.
Ordinary personality. Please, sir, you all know how to come regularly and enlighten us. Thank you, professor.
Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
Take your time now. It's your turn. Come on.
Yes, sir. Good evening, Chandrasekhar. Today, both the sessions have been so rich, and both of them were in tune. Each one was complemented the other. So it was like something, sometimes it happens that the day turns out to be so rich, full of knowledge, full of ancient knowledge. Knowledge coming from the roots of Indian culture and the mythological information that we share, the rich literature which we share from the epics, and it was something in that, moving on that tone. And I can see Anil Raju waiting in the queue, and that is why I jumped into it, because before he jumps in, I thought
you are finally composed. You are finally going to give your conclusion at the end. Why should you come to Hari? Others need to get there.
No, sir. Actually, today there is a lot of vibrancy on the forum. So it happens. And that makes everything so bright and wonderful and brilliant. So thank you very much, Chandrasekhar sir, for adding.
Thank you, dear mother. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. sir.
Sir, like you have given us one formula, no, L is equal to W, sir. Sir, like you have given one formula, L is equal to W, language is equal to world. I have developed a formula and I have gone for a copyright on that particular formula also. It is O is equal to tricks. It is not TRICKS, that is TRIKS. T stands for attitude, R stands for responsibility, I stands for ability, K stands for knowledge, and S stands for skills. If these are multiplied, automatically we get performance, sir. There is no doubt about that. And I've gone for a copyright of this formula. These are called theoretical formula. Like you had given one formula, L is equal to W. That's a theoretical formula.
Yes.
Qualitative formula, and which is also acceptable at par with any other quantitative formula, because we have to just give the inputs to that. That was really a wonderful presentation.
Really.
Yes, sir.
Good
Thank you,
evening,
sir.
everyone. Good evening.
Please.
This is Tirumala.
Please.
I am just patiently waiting in the line. I couldn't stop myself from expressing my gratitude for such a spellbound speech. Actually, the words that I really wanted to say, I was just preparing my mind. So I was seeing everyone taking out of my mind all my words. Like Sir has already said, it was like Astra. So I was about to say that the whole speech was like a bullet. It just pierced our mind and, our mindset. Yeah. So thank you so much, sir, for such an inspiring speech. Both the sessions, really, we are so blessed to be the audience today. You made our day, and we hope that we carry this knowledge. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, madam. Thank you so much.
That is, one of the great scholar has said that if you could convert or you can obtain a theoretical formula, that implies that you have converted every word that you know into action. Then only you can come to a theoretical formula.
Yeah.
So if you have got a formula L is equal to W, that means you have converted every word that you have learned in your life into action. And that is a real, what we can say, excellence of faculty, sir. Really great. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
So I think I can speak for a while.
Yes, why not?
Thank you so much, everybody.
Please comment. Please express your on the presentation.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's what I'm going to do. So actually, all of you have seen the Professor Chandrasekhar sir's presentation, but I am the person who has been directly benefited by his words and presence throughout the years, almost from 2007, almost 15 years of acquaintance and love from Chandrasekhar sir I have received and I have been receiving. And today I want to tell you a simple thing that happened in my life, that Chandrasekhar sir was my intermediate lecturer, and when he was teaching English, he was always telling us about how to attempt for the IIT JEE and all other exams, and he was giving so much of formulas, like just now sir said L equal to W, and another sir said some tricks. So like that he was telling, because actually we were wondering at the time, the student, okay, this teacher is English teacher and he was teaching that how to attempt mathematics, how to finish 160 bits in an exam in the given 3 hours, like that. And he was giving a lot of motivation from Swami Vivekananda books, and he was freely distributing the books. And I have completed my intermediate with a decent rank, and I joined in a private college in electronics and communication engineering at the time. As I belong from the poor background and village background.
Anil, please confine yourself to the present, because so many other friends are waiting. They want to express their opinion.
Only 1
Sir,
minute.
sorry to disturb you. Sorry to interrupt both of you. But whatever the disciple of yours is saying is also, it's taking our attention. Please let him say, if you don't mind, or if other audience don't mind. Please carry on.
Sometimes.
Okay, then, madam. Thank you.
Actually, Chandrasekhar sir is my professor and father also. Sometimes the father domination takes place. Chandrasekhar sir, so when I was in engineering, I couldn't speak in English, and so much of though I had very good percentage, I came out, but I couldn't get a job. So I was discussing something about Chandrasekhar sir after my engineering, and I have given a few Telugu books, Buddhist books. Then Chandrasekhar sir told me, "Why have you been reading in Telugu? So it is very good that you are developing, but you are unable to speak in English. You are unable to express yourself." And so why can't you read in English like that? He told me, and he has given autobiography of a yogi book. Then I started reading that book, and really within almost 6 months, to be frank, at the time I was having nobody to speak in English. But after 6 months, I realized that so much of vocabulary I developed, and I was able to speak in English without any problem. And at the time, I was working in postal department as a postman. Later, I applied for librarian job in Kendriya Vidyalaya. I got the job. But after coming here, what I observed here is that those who can express, those who can communicate what they are feeling, they only can grow. Because I have been some meek and little slow in pace, talking to the seniors, superiors. I had too much of a problem. But Chandrasekhar sir has been telling me that you speak clearly, whatever you feel, you just put in very small words and effective. He has been telling me all these years that whatever you want to speak, don't elaborate, don't give so much of explanation. Whether you are speaking to your principal or whether you are speaking to anybody, you try to condense and you use proper vocabulary so that you will be able to tell them what exactly what happening. So I feel that now the present state or the present learning and the respect I am earning and the respect I am getting from my colleagues, because here I am the only South Indian here and almost all of them are North Indians. In my school there are 15 teachers and librarians. So among them I am the person who speaks very better in English and who can write better in English. Okay, maximum times I send anything I write to Chandrasekhar sir to correct them. So I think it's very thing we need to promote. We need to grow up this English language and learning, because even I found so many things even in the academics that the person even when I was in engineering or even after that, those persons who are good in English speaking and good in understanding, those persons only succeed easily by grasping the things in a limited time, because so many persons are having problem in understanding the English language. Because I myself was in problem, but after getting acquaintance, after getting the suggestions, even actually, this is not a praising session of Chandrasekhar sir, I know, but I want to tell one thing that Chandrasekhar sir, even when he was in class, I was a jobless candidate, and he encouraged me to take up the government job. He told me that if you get a government job, you will get a proper employment, proper money, and at the same time, with the money, with the small job, you can grow better and better. Then I have taken that. Whenever I call him, yeah, sir, what is this? What is there is a sentence correction is there? What is the blunder mistake? So he said, blunder is the biggest mistake. So blunder mistake we cannot use. So many things. Even while he was in class, whether whatever be the situation, whatever be the time, he used to give me all the answers. And just because of that, in postal department examination, I got 24 out of 25. So in librarian exam also, I got 18 marks out of 20. Just because of that English language only, today I'm able to work here properly. And so that even I teach my students to learn English language, and I give so many things here. So I think with this I rest my expression because I'm not actually I'm unable to explain. And even today I'm so happy. Why? Because those persons in Yeluru and those persons around me and those persons who studied with me, they don't know the value of my Chandrasekhar sir and now all the sirs here, because they feel that Chandrasekhar sir is a very normal person. He was coming, teaching, and working as HOD. He is giving some orders for the exams, all these things. But I'm so happy because my professor got so much. What I feel, because I'm so happy really today. I'm so happy because the proper platform, because many platforms are there, but I'm so happy that my professors shine, whatever the shining he is shining all through the years. is only known by a very few people around him. And today, my professor will blossom like a sun or a biggest star ever possible in this universe. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Really,
Yes.
we are happily listening to you, really, and this is the best thing, the best example, I think, for Guru Sishya Parampara that we were just talking about, and
It's
I
like a
think,
floral
as
tribute, floral tribute to the
Buddhapati
Guru.
sir said that there is like seed and the kshetra. So don't mind even if you took little longer time, but it's really like awakening, how this is bringing grace to your teacher, and we are all happy as teachers also, and we would like to, we are also craving for a chance to express our gratitude to our teachers. Thank you so much. This Welter Forum today, it's not just a platform where we just share as teachers, but we interchange or inter-exchange our experiences. So today is really a great day, I believe. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you for your clarification, madam. Anil, please keep in mind that you have really humbled me by your what we say over glorification. I think I am a humble person, a simple person. I don't deserve so much of praise and all that. So you all know, Anil, you know, for so many years, I am very simple. I used to lecture in so many schools and colleges, but don't be so be don't indulge in such great praise, please. So compose yourself and use small words. Don't
Don't
use
worry,
big
Anil.
words
Don't
and all
worry,
that.
Anil.
Thank you.
He is
You,
so
Anil.
humble. He is so
Thank you,
humble and
Anil.
down to earth.
Yeah.
Anil
Thank you,
has
sir.
done his
Yeah,
job
madam.
actually.
Sir, you
Yeah.
deserve it, sir. Sir, we really, teachers, we
Yeah,
are
thank you.
waiting for
Thank
our
you.
students, to recognize this, and you really deserve this. I can see the love in his eyes for you. I can see the respect in his expression.
Mm,
Yeah, so we know now how great you
yeah.
are. Yeah, you stand as a model for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, and your speech, again, I just
Thank
want
you so
to,
much.
your speech and your command over the language and the kind of tone that you were delivering your presentation was really spellbinding, and, like a great leader. You were inspiring us. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
And
madam.
I wish
Thank you,
I were
madam.
taught by
But
you, I feel now.
oh, wonderful.
Thank you.
It's a great humbling occasion. You have humbled me again. Thank you so much, madam. We'll be meeting
Thank you.
again. Professor Bhatta,
Thank you, sir.
His initial remarks were a little bit confused. I did not catch what of his compliment. Is he on the forum or Professor Bhatta? Shekhar Bhatta, his initial comments were not caught by me properly. He's in a hurried way because I need his proper analysis of the talk,
Sir, he is not
a
present.
detailed analysis of the talk.
He is not here at the forum.
Okay.
Yes, Professor. See your humbleness and the great Anil, who has given us so much his experience with you. He's a great humble personality. Both of you, great sir.
జీ just అంటే actually నా point as you said another you have sent your formula for to the international some forum like that. So this work power energy is the ability of the rate of doing it time. So I use power, empower, these things. So rate of reading, rate of listening, of speaking, and rate of writing. All these things. Rate of comprehension, rate of thinking, rate of understanding, all these things. So all these things help students to master syllabi of any competition and come out in flying colors. So that's I could not deal with all those things. Whenever next time, whenever we opportunity, we will deal with all of them. Many things. Oh, anyway, so it's a great humbling experience for me today. Many participants are here, eminent people, enlightened teachers, and motherly teachers. They're all they all listen to patiently this humble pouring of my heartfelt about the limits of my language, the importance of language, the power of expression for discovery and self-development. Without self-discovery, without oneself knowing one's own talent, he cannot excel in any field. So that I try to this kind of yes, please.
You have put on question how to empower ourselves. You answered as saying there is one corner of this universe that is our that is our inner learning. You have quoted that. I have written something. See, sir, I am a learner.
Very good. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Professor.
Yes. A teacher is a lifelong learner. All teachers are lifelong learners.
I am a late learner.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Very. Thank you so much.
Better late than never, sir. Better late than never.
Thank you.
I have seen.
Good, wonderful.
Thank you all. We need a intervention now.
Sir, I just want to say something regarding a comment by R.S. Kiran for the previous session, actually. But if he's there on the forum online, then I would like to have a conversation with him. Otherwise, I wouldn't.
He has just left, it seems. A little while ago, he left, it seems. R.S. Kiran.
R.S. Kiran.
Yes. It's not available at the platform now. Yes, ma'am. You can put your no issue. Yes, ma'am. You can.
Yeah, because he commented that the Guru Sishya Parampara is still in India only.
Yeah. It's everywhere, Guru Sishya Parampara is there. Everywhere. It's a universal. Yes.
Thank you, sir. Chandrasekhar, sir, it was really amazing listening to you, and the deliberations and again the witnesses prove that you both of you did really so well, and big salute to you. And
thank you.
To share our heartfelt and sincere thanks to you both, and thank you so much again.
Thank you.
I would like to register my heartfelt and sincere thanks to Dr. Malti Sharma ji and Jerry sir, and again our Akhtar Banu madam, and also our Kirmala Devi madam from Dammam University, Saudi Arabia, and all the other elite and learned colleagues for your wonderful participation. Big salute to you. Thank you all. In another 2-3 minutes, I will be sharing this.
Our pleasure, sir. Our mother, Maladi madam said, our pleasure, sir. This is our pleasure.
Also.
Our mother, Maladi madam.
We are all gift of mother.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you all. Just please stay for a few minutes. I will be getting this feedback link, and then we will formally close the meeting. Thank you all.
So,
yeah.
Kiran sir,
Kiran sir is now appearing.
Yes, madam.
Tirumala ma'am wants to talk to you.
Yeah, sure. Please, madam. Yes, madam.
Sir, don't mind. It's not a. It's just I couldn't stop myself from it's not a counter argument, but still It's not
Yes,
only in
please,
India that the Guru Sishya or teacher and student parampara, this rich tradition or rich holy relationship is found everywhere. Wherever there is humanity, there is this kind of
Yes, ma'am.
parampara. The whole,
No,
the
actually,
whole
here.
world is moving because of the tradition. Everywhere, every corner of the world, this can be observed.
Yes, madam. But here, no, we don't maintain a friendly relationship with the faculty or the guru, because once Sundar Pichai in his meeting, in his speech, he said that when he had been to USA, he found the faculty over there to be like friends. They used to sit with them, they used to drink with them, they used to have food with them, everything. But that sort of thing doesn't happen in India, particularly. We maintain some kind of a gap between the teacher and the student relationship. We maintain some kind of a gap. There is a gap still. It's a kind of a honorary gap that's being maintained. It's a kind of a respectful gap that's being maintained between the student and the faculty in India. But if you look at
Yes,
the
I do
advanced countries,
agree.
that sort of thing is not
Yeah,
there. Yes, ma'am.
it's not about the advanced countries or you see, sir. Take my example. I was in Telugu medium schools in a very village kind of town. Then I moved to
Which state,
CIV,
madam?
where
Okay.
yes, please. Am I audible?
Yes, madam. Very much, very much. Please continue.
Yes,
Yeah,
ma'am.
absolutely, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am, you are audible.
So,
Madam, sorry for my
You
intervention.
studied from which place,
I
madam?
have moved
Sorry for my
from.
intervention. I have only one word.
I have studied in Kadapa in Rayalaseema. I have studied in a town called Kadapa,
Okay. Okay, ma'am.
and I moved to Hyderabad for my research where we used to call our teachers by their names. So I got used to that even. So I
Yes,
moved
sir.
from such
That's an
an
international culture,
experience
madam. Absolutely.
where we have treated our teachers as gods or as some holy figures, and we maintained the distance, but still we had some kind of intimacy. Yeah, and then we moved to this kind of culture where we used to sit together in the same cafeteria or in the class. We used to have lectures at the cafeteria or at the lawn or outside or inside the campuses, and we used to address our teachers. I still remember I used to call, by
With their
names.
names
We
only, madam.
never
Am I
had.
correct? Yes, sir. With their names.
Sorry?
You were addressing your
Yes.
faculty with their names only. Yeah, yeah.
Yes,
That is
with
a
their
trainer and
names.
student relationship. That is not a teacher and
Yes.
student relationship.
Yeah, we
Teacher and
were the
student
students,
relationship
but
persists only
we were
till
not
the
treated
intermediate level only.
exactly
Yeah.
like students.
Yes,
Yeah.
madam.
So it's all about the atmosphere of that particular institute or the teacher set of
Ecosystem. Yes, madam.
teachers
Yes,
that
madam.
yeah. So yeah, I can see even here in Saudi Arabia, teachers are treated like the best people and they are honored like anything. Yeah, I can see that kind of our Indian culture here too. So either it was Hindu or Indian or Islamic or Arab culture, we are one and the same, I feel.
Okay. That kind of tradition or parampara still persists over there.
Yes, thankfully. We are
Yeah.
fortunate. We
Yes,
are
absolutely,
still
madam.
fortunately, yes, still fortunately. The teachers are the makers of the society. As long as our community is strong and focused, yes, we can expect that to the end of the day.
Absolutely, madam. Teachers
Exactly,
are
ma'am.
always
Exactly, ma'am. I agree. I secondly agree with you,
are
ma'am.
always the constructors or the
Yes.
builders of the nation. Yes, madam.
Just
Manu
simple,
ma'am.
ma'am. Tirumala, ma'am. I believe that they give the
Yeah.
world the best you have, and the best of the world will come to you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Even with our students, ma'am. Even with our students. The students are our real judges,
Yeah.
ma'am, as you were rightly telling. If we
Students
give
are.
them the real inputs,
Nowadays,
Yeah.
no, in the management departments,
they
the
come
faculty
out
are
with
not being
lot of
addressed as sir and
gratitude.
madam. They are being addressed with names, madam.
So today
In
is
the management
Valentine's
science
Day
or in engineering
in
science.
Islamic culture, sir. I just want to say something. Today is a Valentine's Day. The whole world celebrates, but due to respects to the Islam and to the culture of this land, I never mentioned that in the class. But the students, some of them, they came, ma'am, we love you. Happy Valentine's Day. And they gave me a rose and a cookie in red color. You can see the love for teachers. I was so happy today in the class.
Yes, madam. That might be a really great moment for you, madam.
Yes, definitely, sir. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot, Kiran sir, for your, I really appreciate your attitude and trying to, have a conversation, smooth conversation. I really appreciate that. And all the credit goes to Dr. Saravanan sir. Thank you so much. You are the maker. You are the maker of this platform. For a lot of us come together, share our knowledge, learn from each other. Thank you so much.
My sincere thanks goes to Dr. Professor Tirumala Devi Madam for her kind words. And it is you people, you give me energy. It's not that I am doing anything. I'm not at all doing anything. It's all, the whole credit goes to the participants, and especially elite and learned participants, people like you, and again Chandrasekhar sir, both Chandrasekhar sir, Kiran sir, Dr. Andal Madam, all Edil sir, Dr.
Thank you, sir.
Each and every one of the participants make this forum. It's all one family. That's what we are aiming for. This.
Thank you, Saravanan sir. Thank you very much.
Welcome, ma'am. It's all it's something like one global family. That's what. So
Yes, really.
Sure.
Good evening, Dr. Saravanan sir. Good evening to both the paper presenters, Dr. Chandrasekhar sir. Actually, the initial word is said the same, Chandrasekhar. So prefix Dr. Chandrasekhar sir, because same name, similar, including all the members of Velta family. And it is nice to listen to Thirumala mom's voice. Actually informative indeed. And really, and today both the sessions have been wonderful.
Thank you so much.
Good evening, Edil sir, including R.S. Kiran sir.
Good evening, Professor.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Alok sir.
Alok sir,
Thank
good
you so
evening,
much. I was just thinking about you actually, Alok sir. You don't mind because he is such a nice person to say hello and hi to everyone, even middle of the session also. So I was wondering, where is Alok sir today? Where is he? Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you so much.
You live in Saudi Arabia, right, madam? Saudi Arabia.
Yes, sir.
The same university means I am referring to our president, madam.
Okay.
Both of you are teaching in the same university. Aren't you?
Who, sir?
Ma'am, Nagakala, ma'am. Sir is mentioning about Nagakala, ma'am.
Yeah, we used to be colleagues. Now she has left the university and reached India.
Okay.
Maybe next year I would be coming to India.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good.
Thank you so much.
Okay. It is my privilege being a part of Velta family, and I take pride in myself. And the credit goes to Dr. Saravanan sir.
Exactly.
Let me remind all of you again.
Yeah.
And Dr. Saravanan sir is used to give all the credits to the members of Velta family.
He is humble. Yeah, he is humble and yeah. Sir, both Dr. Chandrasekhar and Chandrasekhar, we are waiting for your re-arrival.
Sir, thank you so much.
Exactly, madam. We do expect more presentations from Dr. Chandrasekhar sir and Dr. Bodapati Chandrasekhar sir, because Hello.
Yes.
please
Yes,
continue.
Yes, sir. Please
Sir,
go on, sir.
this
Please,
is the
please.
first time I am listening to you, Chandrasekhar sir, Dr. Chandrasekhar sir, and I am also thankful to your disciple.
Yes,
Because
sir.
he has really, what I can say, laid his heart bare before us.
Yes, yes.
True,
Really,
yes,
really,
sir.
really.
I am a true disciple to his teacher.
Mm. Yeah.
Thirumala madam, madam, am I audible to you?
Yes. You're audible, Mr. Alok.
Okay. I think
Audible, sir. Please, sir.
okay.
Please.
I am asking anything from Thirumala madam. I think she is offline now. I have a query.
Yeah. Eril sir,
I think she left us. Yes, yes, professor. Please, professor.
Good evening,
Eril sir,
madam. Actually,
will you see
okay, sir. Yes.
Yes,
which
professor.
link to
Sir?
yes, which link to my number
Yeah, please, sir. Actually.
to Sarvanan or anybody.
Sure.
Only madam is here.
Always, sir.
Yeah, so that for voice modulation and other things, once listening back to will help modulate voice appropriately in the future talks.
Yes, sir. I think the YouTube link is already posted in the messages. This thing, sir.
So we have a YouTube link.
May have been posted.
Yeah, it has already been posted, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir, but today little bit late.
Thank you.
I'm late to home.
It would posted, sir. It would be posted.
Yes. I have just go through the chat box.
Sir,
Yes,
tomorrow
very
I
good
will
evening
post the
to
channel link so
Dr.
that
Banu
you
madam.
can see all the videos.
Yeah, madam. Yes.
Tomorrow I will
Yeah.
post the link
Really.
because through mobile I will post it because
Okay.
laptop is
Valli
not.
ma'am, how are you, Valli ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. Fine, ma'am.
Good evening, madam. Yes.
Okay. Many days. Yeah.
And
Sir,
Nice.
silent listener, ma'am.
Posted the
Yes,
YouTube
ma'am.
links, professor.
Ma'am,
Yes,
you
ma'am.
have shared presentation certificates also, ma'am.
Ma'am.
Valli ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. Sri Lakshmi, ma'am. I'm here.
Yeah, is there any delay for feedback?
Sir told to wait, ma'am.
I
Let's
think.
see.
You want us wait or you will give tomorrow?
No, ma'am. Please wait some more minutes. I think Professor Saravanan sir is arranging.
Ma'am,
Okay.
Venkateswara sir is busy. She will.
Okay, sir.
If you have any, yeah.
Dr. Saravanan sir is now very
Some more
busy
minutes,
in
sir.
his duty, an important duty to create the link, feedback link of today's webinar. So it is also our responsibility to remain, what I can say, dynamic and not to bother too much about the feedback link. Na?
True, sir. True, Alok, sir.
Yes, madam. He is doing his job. He is trying his best to forward the
Now
feedback
itself I
link to
will
the chat
post the
box
link, ma'am.
so that we will
Okay.
be in a position to fill out the feedback link to obtain the certificates. No problem at all.
I think. Saranan sir? Saranan sir?
Professor Saravanan sir.
Sir is offline now. And let us break the silence.
मिल रहा है लेकिन ये कुछ फीडबैक है उसमें
Yeah. Good evening, everybody. Actually, this link is getting ready, so kindly bear the inconvenience. Another 2-3 minutes, we will be receiving it.
No issue, sir. Please. The battery is bakka. Thank you.
Sir, for your kind information, I have posted the channel link, so you can view all the videos in the channel.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Saranan sir, shall I end the stream?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, da.
Yes, ma'am. Okay.
Vijayasree, sir's daughter.
Vidyasree. Daughter of Saravanan.
Yes.
Daughter of Saravanan.
She's trying to learn how to go for live. For the past
Putti,
one week.
தாய் பத்தடி பழமொழி மேடம் வள்ளி மேடம் தாய் 8 அடி பாஞ்ச குட்டி 14 அடி சாதாரண ஆள் இல்ல. நிறைய அவார்ட்லாம் வாங்கியிருக்கு யோகால குழந்தை பார்த்தேன் நான் அந்த போட்டோல பார்த்தேன். Received many awards.
Yes, sir.
In yoga. Am I right, madam?
One second, sir. I will end the stream and then I will come back.
Okay.